Hello, hello, you guys. How's everyone doing? I remembered I needed to change this, and then I got distracted. And so here we are changing it on live. So what I just do is I wait until it goes to the next color to see where it is that we're at. We had the Tiffany blue last time. So I think we've got that, yep, that white. And then this one we had the orange, and so we have to see where it comes up. But that blue is so pretty. We had the orange, so this is more of a yellow. So we were just doing our Google story, and my goodness, my mind is blown. We've got the bob haircut, being conservative, maybe finding and being in a place of maturity with the Loch Ness monster of something that's just below the surface that maybe was discovered by a mystic, and just needing to let go of the whole matter in general altogether. Just let it go. Maybe somebody's idea of thinking that mystics or psychics are bad news. And I'm not saying that there aren't some that are, because as with every population, there are good ones and there are bad ones. There are truth tellers and there are storytellers and liars. Right? There are some that will deceive, and there are some that are here to help. It's up to us to discern who and what that is. Seems these are easier to shuffle once I cut the tops off of the plastic. I wish I had plastic that was actually the same size as my card, but my bad. I guess I need to change the... We've got body art coming out. I need to change my size, I guess, of the cards. We've got 3 new energies here at the top. We have hide here and mystic again. Maybe someone's trying to hide somebody who is a psychic or a mystic or has a channel, an intuitive channel. They don't want anyone to come across it and find out information or connect the clues together. We've got let go again and hammer. Let go of all the work. Somebody wants somebody to let go of all the work that they've been doing on a certain topic or manner. Wow, I cannot get over how much easier this is when you just cut away the extra. We've got magician here, a spellcaster or illusionist, and hammer. Maybe someone's letting go of hiring someone who does spell work, or someone who is an illusionist. Maybe that person's getting let go. Or someone wants someone to let go of the idea that there's one that even exists. You know, magicians have been known to tell their secrets. We've got a professional hider here. Now you see it, now you don't. Maybe somebody's trying to hide someone or professionally have someone hidden. Whether that's having them blacklisted or having them taken away while they're, you know, doing their work. UFOs, the way UFOs they've said have come and cows go disappeared. Cows are disappearing out of the fields. 1 minute they're there, 1 minute they're not. The bottom of the deck, we've got the Statue of Liberty trying to harness someone's life and pursuit of happiness. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from the French. It was brought over in 2 parts. She did change color over time. She wasn't always green. I forget what color she was when she came over. Hey Google, what color was the Statue of Liberty when she was original?
When the Statue of Liberty was first completed and gifted in 1886, it was a shiny, dark brownish metallic copper color, much like a new penny. It only gradually developed its iconic green patina over the following decades due to oxidation.
All right. Center of the deck cards, we have Pest, comma, taking a break, or a pause, or a breath. The hibernating bear. So not only taking a breath, a moment of, but going and hibernating through a season to celebrate. What was meant to be a break was extended, and maybe that season is coming to an end. So it's time to celebrate this freedom. And the only reason why someone went into this break or pause or hibernation was because of a pest. This blood-sucking, blood-draining, exhausting situation. So we're celebrating the hibernation. Either the person who put this person into hibernation is celebrating, or it's time to celebrate. Let's see, we have a professional here. Battery. Do we need new batteries, or is our batteries going out? Maybe someone's just good at keeping themselves going. Maybe there's someone who's a professional celebration person who wants to keep the party going. We have sweet, sugarcoating something. Rot your teeth, instant gratification. Love. This could be a, what they call a someone who's hired for, I guess an SEX worker. Someone who's hired to be super nice and sweet and pretend like they love somebody. Scribe, and then someone's going to record it. They're going to record the illusion of the whole scenario. I had asked someone who I had dated, I was like, I literally came out and asked him, were you just hired to be here? Am I a job? And he looked at me with shock on his face, like, why would you say that? I said, because that's how you treat me. That's just the sense that I get. Granted, I mean, we stopped kind of associating soon after that, but it was just a thought that came to mind. Like, you were just a job. This person is hired to be here. And honestly, I didn't have any idea where that thought even came from. It was just something that I had asked. I kind of said it in a jokingly manner because it was just, I couldn't believe what I had heard, the idea and the concept that came up. But I had also had a dream, I think, around that time where there was a couple. It was him and another person, and they were like, I guess we were like in some wilderness, and it was some kind of bank of some kind, as far as like the water and the bank, you know what I mean? And they were there, and there's a huge log that was there, and I was behind the log, and I didn't have clothes on. So obviously in a state of vulnerability, right? And then being behind a log, and I knew the guy, but I didn't know the girl, and I was just like, they're witnessing those two together, and I was thinking, you know, what's going on? And I think it was at that time where that thought came to mind that perhaps you are insignificant in this person's life because they have a life, but yet here you are exposing yourself and being honest and true and authentic with this individual, but yet you hide behind a log. So I think it was the thought and then the dream that both came together, and it was like, you know what, you're not a part of the scenario. You're kind of just, I don't know, folks. But honestly, I feel like my ex hired the person to be there. I honestly feel like my ex was also the person who would send certain people to date me. Now, this is all allegedly, folks, because I have no proof, just a sense or a feeling. Because I personally don't think I am as attractive as these people had tried to make it seem, if that makes any sense. I mean, I'm not, you know, but I'm just saying, I don't think I don't know. It's all about perception. So there was obviously some kind of professional hired or a professional involved who wanted to keep this going, perhaps because it was like taking candy from a baby, right? And they just loved the idea of writing this whole story or this script of illusionment. And on the other hand, it could also be a professional that was hired in order to come in and date you and be super sweet so that they could record the things that were going on. And so they can go ahead and pull the strings in your life. Now, this also goes back to another person, individual that I had known and was always honest with me from up front about where their intentions lied. And I just appreciated this person. I enjoyed spending time with this person. But over the years, mind you, this is like decades old. Over the years, when I was a person on their Facebook page, I was a friend on their page, and there would have girls that would come in on their page. And they would be having woe's me stories or situations. And I would chime in the comments about, or reply to their comments and telling them, psychologically, trying to give them advice. And I mean, granted, they didn't ask me for the advice, but they did make some kind of mention on the page. And they were saying, I don't understand why this guy does that and why this guy does this and la la la. And I didn't have to, but I felt encouraged to mention that if someone is treating you like an afterthought, then you are an afterthought. And the person who was on this page or owned the page said, in a side message, you can't do that. Why are you saying that? And I said, I'm trying to be helpful. I'm trying to, educate those who are needing or asking for education on the matter. And he said, you can't do that. You're ruining the recruits. And I was taken aback by it because I didn't understand at the time what he meant about that. It's like, why wouldn't you want people to be in a place of healing, in a place of positivity, in a place of maturity, in a place of progression? And now looking back, I'm actually wondering if there was a huge another scheme of things that I wasn't aware to. And this is only because I'm reading other news stories that are posted about articles about how there are certain groups who give tips on how to date certain other groups and how to solidify a relationship with certain people in order to be able to have a certain lifestyle. Then there's other groups that are saying that it's like they actually I guess it just goes vice versa is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know how far back this goes. Like, are there certain groups of people that will only date people of wealth, and then they kind of have these people kind of trickled in as that? I mean, I guess it's been going on since the beginning of time if you want to really kind of think about it. I don't know. I've always dated authentically. I always dated because I dated who I liked. I figured anyone had potential to be able to be financially secure if they had wanted to be or did the work to be. So for me, it's like if you didn't have money in your bank, I thought that was fine because we could work together and build it together. I don't know, maybe I was naive. I don't know, folks, but it's just weird how we have Hyde here. It's like you see everything, but you don't think you're being seen. That's how it was in high school for me. I was like the most popular, unpopular person in school. Everyone knew who I was, but I didn't have a clue that anyone knew who I was. I was like a loner. I had like maybe 2 friends. Yet everyone knew me, and I thought that was just so weird. So it's an illusion that someone's hiding here. It's an illusion that someone is pulling the strings, or they're hiding the fact that someone else is pulling the strings. Someone else is actually in control of things. That same ex that I allegedly said that could have been hiring people to date me used to always say, believe if you believe in nothing, you'll fall for everything or anything. If you don't have a belief in something, you'll fall for anything. We've got the colon. There's a whole list of people, folks. There's a whole list of reasons why. It's also my bowling ball card. It kind of looks like a bowling ball. You put your fingers in there and you toss it down the row. You got to aim it just so, knock over all the pins, and then you win, right? We've got the worm being lured. Someone's trying to catch something. And that goes along with what we were saying earlier about someone trying to document everything that goes on within this sweet love situation. I don't know why I can't think of the other word for lure right here. Trying to hook a fish. Could be from Plenty of Fish, right? Some of the dating apps. We've got headphones. Staying to yourself. Not listening to the outside world. Not paying attention to the outside world. Not realizing that someone's trying to be lured or luring. We've got science, which is chemistry and love. I also had a thought that one of the people that could have been hired in order to distract me or date me until accidentally fell in love. Oopsie. What do you do? We've got lock. Trying to lock something down, trying to lock down the story, perhaps. Trying to secure the story or secure the records of this creation, of this accumulation. The chemistry umbrella. Being protected from the elements, or it could be an umbrella company or a person at the top since it's underneath the illusion. Maybe it's an illusion that someone is being protected from the elements. Maybe they're trying to lock somebody who is the master illusionist in this group of creating these love situations. The number 9, lesson learned. I think it's just funny because they think they cannot be seen. They think that nobody knows what they're doing. They think that they don't know where they are. Maybe they're realizing now. Maybe they're realizing what it was that they've been a part of. We've got the bloom card here, getting your flowers. Goes with the celebrate card as well. You usually give flowers as a gift, right? Otherwise, or unless you're just a real good green thumb. It took me a long time to understand the fact that there are certain flowers that don't bloom all year round. They're only like seasonal. And so when I would get these flowers and I would plant them and they would die off, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what happened? I don't understand. Well, they were just meant to only last a certain amount of time. They weren't meant to last forever. And I guess that would go back to these professionals that were hired. Those relationships maybe weren't meant to last forever. Only for a certain amount of time. We've got the Solidus. There's a whole network of people who are involved in this. You guys saw me shuffling the cards. You're seeing me pull them out. They're in the order. I did not create the order. And I find it interesting that they are confirming what I've been saying. There could be networks that try to lure people with batteries or energy, right? So whatever provides energy to people, whether it's like someone's essence, I still don't understand how that works when they try to entrap someone's essence and then they come and take it and give it to somebody else. I don't know how that works. Is it like because you have an involvement with someone and they make you feel so great that now you come back and you're in a good mood? Is that what it is? I don't know, folks. Or it could go even deeper than that. I don't know. If we look at some of the movies, like the Avatar with the whale, and they took its essence and then it's used as some kind of energy somehow that way, but I don't know how it works. I can't wrap my head around it. You know why I don't understand is because it's like you can generate your own essence. You can generate the same thing that you try to steal from other people, and then you have an infinite amount of it because you've generated it. It's yours. It's coming from within. You don't even have to take it from somebody else. Which is what makes it so... What's the word I'm looking for? It starts with an I. Not ridiculous. What's the word? I don't know. It just... I don't know, folks. Adrenaline, is that the word I'm thinking of for batteries as well? Like, seriously, you can create your own, folks. You don't have to steal it from others, and you don't have to sell your soul in order to get it. That's what I don't understand. Unless I'm completely wrong, that could be it. We've got Blueberry, which is my entitled card. People who are entitled. This is the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory card. I want it, and I want it now. It's like, come on. Anything that you have to take from another person is not going to last you very long from something that can be within yourself, which is infinite. We've got a flat top. Someone could have a flat top, or it could be something like it's very, it's cut so even that you can see across the entire horizon. No obstruction. Very clear cut. The entitlement is just spewing. And it's underneath the science card. Whatever it is that someone's trying to create is just so obvious. It doesn't matter how good of an actor you are. This person was studying to be an actor as well. They were in a couple movies. We've got board, a blackboard, a corkboard, a surfboard, a cutting board, a green chalkboard, and a whiteboard. And also someone also mentioned a skateboard, which I thought was cool. So I was going to rearrange some of these little categories. So someone could like surfing, someone could like skateboarding. But all in all, it just means I'm just so bored. Yawn. This originally started off as a yawn card, but bored was easier. So someone involved in all of this scenario and making things up and being entitled and being able to, they're just so bored with it. The payoff is not happening for them anymore. The involvement is just not paying off. They're bored with being in that part of, I was going to say industry. I mean, once you go so far and once you go so ridiculous, eventually it's going to be hard to top it, right? So then what? Then you realize that even though you've got maybe the means or the ability to do all the things that have been done, it's like you're still bored and you have to sit with yourself. Then what do you do? Someone's looking for a life preserver. Someone's looking for a way out. Someone's saying, hey, I need help. I need some kind of savior. I need someone. Because I'm so darn bored. My mom used to make us go organize the pantry when we got bored. If we ever said, I'm bored, she'd give us something to do. And I thank her for that because I love organizing things now. There's just some kind of satisfaction in seeing things that have been a mess to be able to be just organized and well seen. Disaster turned into order. We've got the number 8 card. This is a masculine energy and action. Infinity, for Pete's sake. A lesson learned for generations, for centuries. Also, 98 could be something that started in 1998. Someone could be 98 years old. It could be even September 8th is significant. But someone may be waking up to the fact that everything that they've been doing is being seen. You can't hide it, regardless of what level of the pyramid or ladder you're on. Everything you do comes back. Everything you do is etched and recorded, inscribed into the history books of knowledge. And I apologize for my terminology not being up to par because there's a lot of stuff that I do not know, and there's stuff that I come across, and there's things that I learned that I'm just like, wow, that's really interesting. So I'm sure the words will come to me years from now. But as for right now, I'm a little bit limited. But what I do know is that there is everything that we do, every single thing, every decision we make, there is a consequence, whether what side of the consequence it lies. Someone was playing childish games. Someone kept trying to practice this craft. Up and down, up and down. Did you ever get a yo-yo taken out of the package and you thought you were just going to get right into it and it was just going to be just a fun game, and then all of a sudden you realized that you had to learn it, you had to practice it. It wasn't just going to be an instant thing, Mr. or Miss entitled instant gratification. And then once you were able to master the yo-yo, now all of a sudden you became bored with it. It's not fun anymore. Maybe someone's realizing it's not fun anymore to be able to control and pull the strings behind the scenes. And it certainly isn't fun when there's no reaction to it. We've got a purse. Someone was playing games with somebody's purse, with somebody's belongings, with someone's well-being. Trying to play games with what someone carries around with them day in and day out. The things they protect. We've got a bicycle, man-made power. We had the batteries up there. Now we've got man-made. Someone's in the hot seat with the red seat. It's a bicycle, so it could be 2 cycles, which is interesting because we've got the 2 circles here with the 8, right? So maybe this lesson that they're learning is in 2 parts. We've got a siren here. Perhaps they're having to deal with a siren now in their own world and in their own life, and they're experiencing it on the receiving end. Maybe there was a siren involved that was helping and luring people with what they said, the song they sang, the way they looked. Never to be seen again. There's been people out on the ocean that say that they have had run-ins with that sound or that song out on the out in the water. I mean, granted, it is video, so you don't really know if it's something that actually happened or not. I've never experienced it myself, but I've seen those videos, and you can hear the sound in the background, and I'm like, wow. I wonder sometimes if those are like certain kind of whales that make that sound, but certainly science would have told us that, right? Again, I don't know how it works. I just hear what I'm told. And with that, you have to use your discernment of what is accurate or not, right? But if it feels fishy, it might be fishy. They are saying, or they do have photos of mer people who have washed up on the ocean. Again, I don't know if it's true or not. It could be AI doctored. I don't know. But someone's definitely trying to experiment with this love situation. And perhaps the person that was hired had also had someone who was hired. So perhaps now they're realizing what it was that they were doing to someone else. Now they're experiencing it themselves, because not only were they part of a cycle, but now they're experiencing the same cycle that they tried to give to somebody else. All the while not even realizing that they were under this illusion that maybe this person actually cared about them. Or on the other hand, they could have just, accepted the scenario for what it was because it was fitting their lifestyle, and they didn't really want anything much deeper than what they had with the person. And maybe that's what it was, the part that just really came and bit them in the behind, right? Now they had a hook in their mouth. What do you do? 2 cards that came out together. We have a rabbit and the weight. coming out after the siren. I don't know where we are with the camera lens. I apologize. And I can't see your comments. I wish I could. One day. So the siren could have came in very provocatively. Maybe a little promiscuous with the individual. Maybe they really liked what they were putting down. Maybe they came in with heavy provocative energy for this individual, and that person was just fed into it. Maybe they came in and they were very much entertaining the idea, feeding to their ego. Maybe there's just a lock and true. Is that the statement? Tried and true scenario or formula that actually works for most individuals. This person could be getting bored with the whole idea of this whole energy here. Like there's more to life than that. We've got the carriage. What about your dreams? Someone is stuck. Their dreams at a standstill. Their emotions dried out. They've lost connection to their senses. Because there are no horses out here. They've lost their senses. They've lost their mind because there's no reins out here. All they've got is their body. That's all they have. And now they need help with their body because they don't even have control over their own life. It was an illusion the entire time. Pomegranate. The pomegranate is life and resurrection, considering it's underneath the lesson card and the infinity card here. There's 613 seeds in the pomegranate. I don't know if it's in every pomegranate, but the way they made it sound that it's in every pomegranate has 613 seeds, which is kind of interesting that it would be just so precise, right? Kind of like this chemistry experiment. You got to be precise if you're going to do chemistry and then retest your theories. You've got to do it exactly right. We've got fate, growth, and a blessed future here. Maybe that's what their dreams were. And that's what they were going for. In the Torah, the 613 seeds is reflective of the 248 do's in the Torah and the 365 don'ts in the Torah. The 365 don'ts represents the solar year, and the 248 do's represent the limbs and organs in the body. And by following the do's, you're nourishing that part of the body. This could pertain to someone who is part of or from Israel. I guess the people who follow the Torah, there's 15.8 million people who are living in Israel or the U.S. Life and resurrection. The cycle of infinity reiterates the fact that what you do now carries over in life and in resurrection. Our outcome cards. Oh no, I was going to do another fifth row. Fifth row seems to work. Someone's just shading it, hiding it, The paparazzi, they're embarrassed perhaps. Maybe they have a hangover from all of this. Oh, we've got two. How weird is that, folks? We've got the snow globe and the mystic. Both of them are globes of some kind. This is something that goes on all over the globe. You got to wait for the dust to settle. The future being seen. Memories. Oh, gosh. Memories of the past. And visions of the future. I keep counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have another row? The things that you carry with yourself. Your day in and your day out. Look, and it also makes an 8 there too. Your day in and your day out. I feel like I'm like on repeat all the time here. These networks, don't they understand? They think it's all temporary. It's like they're so wise. I mean, they're supposed to have so much wisdom and education, and they're supposed to be just so up there on the food chain, right? Aren't they? Isn't that what we believe? And it's like they have no idea. And they're supposed to be, I mean, some of these groups are supposed to be so spiritually knowledgeable. But they've completely missed the point, and I'll be so shocked if we get that card come out. Okay, so you have this knowledge of things, and this... I'm like this. Urgh! You have this knowledge, but you're completely missing the point, the fact that what goes around comes around. I mean, we learned that in elementary school. But because they're so elitist or so entitled or so in this area of control, of trying to control people's lives and what they put in their mouth and who and what they love and what they listen to and how they listen to it and on what frequency they're listening to it. Did you forget that none of it is unseen? The past and the future, it all determines right now. You're part of that right now. They're part of that right now. Whoever, what direction that you're watching this. The life preserver is here. You've got the pixie haircut. Oh, you're going to act like you just didn't know? We'll just sprinkle a little more magic on the situation. Let's be joyous and have fun and just, you know. Are you going to keep acting like it doesn't matter? You've been reminded now. Now you've heard it. Now what are you going to do? You can't act like you didn't hear it. All I'm saying that if you're the type of person that is this person who is in a place of entitlement, I apologize for those people who are not in this place of entitlement and you're listening to this, but please know that there are people in places of entitlement and they do watch the videos because they do feel like they are in a place of trying to control factors and they just want to peek on in and jump on in to see what's going on and what's being said. But know for the simple fact that if you're being forewarned and you're having the information and you're being reminded and you're being, what's the word I'm looking for? Integrated with the truth, there's a purpose and a reason for that. Because you are seen and you are getting a warning and you are loved enough by the Most High that the Most High wants you to know that there's still a chance if you just do the right thing. That should make you feel something. That even through it all and all the decisions and all the parts that you've played, that you are still loved. You're still wanted. But I'm going to tell you, because this is what I hear, there's only going to be so many times of reaching out, and eventually that reach out is just not going to happen, and then you're on your own. There will be no more opportunities. There'll be no more reminders. Just the consequence. And that is something that you'll have to deal with. That will be the lesson learned. That will be the circumstances that you created on your own because you were given opportunity. And there won't be anyone to blame but yourself because you made the choice. We've got the bob haircut. This could have something to do with someone named Robert, with someone named Bob, and heck, with the name Robin if it's a female. Maybe someone decided that they were just going to go ahead and give themselves a whole new look, a whole new change. Or heck, maybe they're growing out their childish behaviors. Giving it a little length now. Now there's a little versatility because you could pull it back in a ponytail if you'd like. Definitely a different way to look at things for sure. We've got the gas tank here on empty, folks. We went from having the full batteries, right? There was another energy, some sort of card down here somewhere. Where is it? I don't know. I thought there was another energy card, something that gave energy, or I don't know. Oh, the man-made bicycle. We went from synthetic energy to man-made energy, and now we're just plain empty. We have no more gas. Maybe someone is impotent at this point, considering it's underneath the rabbit in the weight card. It's causing impotency. So sad. We've got situational ships. Someone's finding that the situational ships, or maybe the hired hands, the empty relationships, are just draining. We've got the pest up there too. Remember, split of the deck? When all of this activity was started with the freedom of liberty, the pursuit of happiness. But did we forget the justice for all? Two cards came out, the welcome visitor and the cabin. Taking a much needed break, how we were discussing in the very beginning. Maybe there was something that happened in a cabin up in the woods. Maybe this is a second home or a vacation home. visiting a vacation. Maybe someone just needs some time out by themselves in order to give some things some thought. Maybe someone's going to be visiting isolation, visiting a place of quiet. Log cabin, visiting times of ancient old history. The horrors that happened there. This goes way back. Ingrained in the DNA, between the slats, just waiting for the cycle to end. The harm inflicted on other people is the harm inflicted on self. When will people wake up to see that? It's a constant visitor. A constant thought of the past, the souvenirs of the past, the memories of the past, the things that were done in the past are just a reflection of what the future holds. Isn't it time to visit peace? Haven't you learned that lesson? It says lesson learned. So now what do you do with the information of what you've learned? How do you integrate that into your everyday? You just choose to. Someone is seeing the scenario or the situation for what it is. They were never in control. Maybe they had someone above them that was actually in control of all the things too. And it was just some kind of facade that they had any kind of control or decision or choice within what they were doing. Spiritually speaking, what side are you on? Situational ship of a part-time visitor. Maybe someone would go to a cabin with their little situational ship and visit up there and spend some time there whenever they were empty or on E. Two cards came out together. We've got the Move Pack Store and Move Inc. and the camera coming out again with tracking the movement, the moments, the memories. Where do you pack and store those memories? They're always with you. You carry them around. You move them with you from place to place. We've got long distance travel here. And the number 3, you can never get away from the Most High. You can never get away from the mind, body, and spirit. It travels with you whether you are near or far, whether you're here or there. I did do another series of cards as far as the passport and travel, that if it came out, I was going to pull maybe where we're transporting or following to. And my goodness sakes, folks, we've got You're Missing the Point coming out as the next card. Did I not just say that with the whole scenario? Regardless of what, you can have all the information and all the knowledge and all the wisdom in all the world and still miss the point. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but they say that some of the doctors, allegedly, some of the doctors studied enough so they could pass their courses, but they were not the A students of those courses. And even if you are the A student in those courses, it does not mean that you know how to integrate it into practice. It just means that you have the knowledge of the information. It's like either you're gifted with the gift of it, or you just have the knowledge of it. Can you integrate the knowledge of it with the gift and use it together? Some people are not meant to do the professions that they're in, and that's okay. It's not their instinctive, natural role, so to speak. I don't know why it frustrates me. It just seems like we have so many gifted people out there who are just so smart and so wise and so intelligent, and they just use it in the wrong ways. In ways that it wasn't intended, but it was meant to be that way for that person to be able to figure it out. It's kind of like people who deal with the drugs. They have those businesses, right? Or they do stuff, alternative means, rather. They have the business sense, but they're using it in the wrong ways. Or people who are criminals, they've got the mentality and the creativity to be able to come up with these ideas in a negative regard when you could just use it positively. Don't you know that the negative part of things is just using you? Don't you know that the Most High gave permission for that to be the way it is in order to test you? Where does that put your ego at now? That entitled ego is being used, manipulated, and your soul is being tested. I'm just saying. How does that make you feel? Passport. Dominions. Okay, so it goes this way. These are my cards for the travel. And then these are my cards for the landscape. So let's do both. Shall we? Folks, please know that anything that I say, I come from a place of love. I come from a place of hope. I come from a place of care. I don't care what's happened to me. I don't care if the story is true about having someone hire the people who have come to my life, because I appreciated those people for who they were, regardless of why or how they got there. And that goes with any interaction I have with people. I appreciate the process, the journey, the options, the choice. I see that people are making decisions based on the knowledge they have, the information they have, the education that they have. But don't be so full of yourself that you miss the point. It's just so sad that people are choosing the torment of finding in the end that they're just so bored with everything they've experienced. And through that boredom, they've caused so much harm to other people. When it really didn't have to be that way. Had you actually took a moment to sit with yourself and ponder and actually care. The landscapes. I don't even know how this is going to relate. But we've got the pack, store, and move landscape of this whole scenario. Maybe the landscape of the cabin, even though we know, or maybe it's just a second home. Or it's a different area of where these kinds of things happen. Again, I don't know how this is even going to pan out. I guess I don't even have all the cards here. We do have the cabin, which is the mountains, which could be also part of the environmentalist area. A rural area is significant. Maybe the person or the people they target are from rural areas. Maybe the people who have entitlement issues are from the rural area that we're discussing in this story. I don't know. Passport travel. The countries where this can pertain to, even though I already know it happens all over the place. I'm going to pick 2 of these cards. 3? I'm going to pick 3 of these cards because we have the number 3 here. We've got 1. We've got 2. We've got 3. The places that this has issue with the most, probably. The places that deal with cantons as their highest divisionary method, which is in Switzerland. We've got the states, the places that use states to divide their federal, they have federal states. There's 15 countries that use the term states. Australia, Brazil, US, Nigeria, Mexico, Austria, Sudan, South Sudan, Germany, Palau, Malaysia. They use states as their administrative structure and division. So they use those. And then the other, Switzerland uses cantons to describe. And then we have provinces. There's 50 countries that use provinces. I'm just going to say a few so you can look up the rest. I have no idea. So many countries, folks. So it's also an issue. People could be dealing with this from Canada, China, Italy, Turkey, Spain, Thailand, Argentina, Cuba, Congo, Dominican DM. I don't know. Madagascar, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Bulgaria, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Greece, Iran, Netherlands, and of course there's way more. It could be the heritage of the people who are involved and who I'm speaking to. People who make light of things, who are missing the point. They probably try to lure people who are from rural areas in order to maybe promise them riches or promise them a good time or promise them something, and then they drain them of their energies. Perhaps these are people who had inheritances or whatnot coming to them. Perhaps these are people who just truly wanted love. Perhaps these are people who felt like they were just missing out on something, and so they would lure them and take from them. These are people that they probably thought other people wouldn't miss. But yet here we are. Discovering the fact that those people were precisely the people who would make everyone else aware of your choices. These people are definitely missed. These people were definitely the opportunity for someone to make a different choice than what it was that they were doing, knowing that it was losing its thrill for you. Each person brought you closer and closer to discovering the void within yourself. Each situational ship bringing you closer to finding the void within yourself. Knowing that each encounter was making you just more and more bored with the whole situation. Even with that said, that's between you and the Most High. I know nothing. The cards just told me. And quite honestly, you already knew. Isn't that something? I'm seriously not telling you anything you didn't already know. I had places to be today, folks. But you know, imagination, yeah, it could be imagination. Information. The information comes through the imagination of man. Man, get moving. It could have something to do with a Taurus. A friendship with a Taurus. Maybe someone misunderstood that friendship. Misunderstood the loyalty. Now they're stuck. Above. Manifest the lesson. Someone with the initial B. Someone needs to get some kind of grounding. They're stuck in the lesson. Get moving. Maybe that's the message to me. I need to get moving on what I need to do, because if I don't take care of myself, who's going to take care of me? Nobody. I dated someone who said, well, what about me? What about me? About as far as getting help or needing to be saved or whatnot. And I looked at this individual and like, what do you mean? Oh, look, B with Bob and Robert. I don't know. You have to save yourself, folks. That's the root of the matter. We've got root here. Could be also a family tree, part of the family. Someone's uncomfortable now. A unique situation, I guess. Smoke is upside down, so the smoke is clearing. Hey now. We've got a flame here. Oh, we got the smoke is clearing after the fire and the purification and the flame. A theme is upside down. There's no class here. The eyes see. You better, everyone's seeing what you're doing. Someone's screaming through tech. Something is not plastic. Something is not fake. This is a real situation. Change, no change. Filter, there's no filters. I can't help that. Egg, maybe someone's egg on the face. A beginning of something, of peace. Of happiness with the Glee card here. And with that said, folks, make it a great day. Mind you, these are for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only. Let's be real, these are cards with pictures on them. It's a story. It's a proverb. It's information. Even with the names, there's no meaning to it. Hey, Google, what is the meaning of the name Rob or Bob?
The names Rob and Bob are both traditional nicknames for Robert, which comes from Germanic roots meaning bright or famous in glory.
I mean, that's a nice name, right? So with that being said, folks, make it a great day. Thanks for being here. Use your discernment in all things. Take care.